Today we're going to talk about a very serious issue that I think that should be talked about, and this is a video I wanted to make for some time now, especially after the Xbox Series X leak that we had not too long ago, that there would be a mid-gen refresh for the Series X, which is going to be a digital only console. And this is a very serious topic to me, and it should be a very serious topic to you, which is physical gaming. Now, you might not do physical gaming anymore, and that's fine for you, but a lot of people still out there still buy physical games, and I am one of those people, especially because I like to collect video games in general. I brought some examples with me here today. And the reason why I wanted to talk about it is because of game preservation. Maybe you guys aren't very familiar with this term, especially if you are from a younger generation. I get that you might not really care about game preservation whatsoever, but it is an important thing. And basically, it's the term for preserving games that can be lost through time, either through physical discs not being able to be bought anymore in the past, maybe like Xbox original games or PlayStation 1 games, something like that, or digital games that can get removed from the PlayStation store or the Xbox store, which has already happened in the past. And the Xbox 360, maybe remember this, the Xbox 360 actually had a whole arcade marketplace with little arcade games. That's how the whole indie scene basically evolved because of that. And a lot of these digital Xbox 360 games won't be available anymore pretty soon next year, because next year will be the time that the digital store for the Xbox 360 will in fact close forever. Game preservation, in my opinion, is very important. And the thing is, companies these days, they don't really care about game preservation. We do have backwards compatibility now. PlayStation 5 have backwards compatibility, has it with PlayStation 4. Xbox Series has it with Xbox 360, Xbox One, even some original Xbox games. There are rumors that the next Nintendo Switch might not have backwards compatibility, which I would enrage me, by the way, because I've bought a whole big library of Nintendo Switch games now. And I just want to show you guys, as a collector, I just took a small part of my PlayStation 4 collection. I have more than 200 plus PlayStation 4 games. These are some of my favorites. I will show you guys, and I have a lot of steelbooks as well. I really like to collect steelbooks. This is Skyrim, my most favorite game of all time now still, and I bought the steelbook separately so that I would have a steelbook for it. I have one for GTA 5 as well, which is like the PlayStation 3 steelbook. But I collect so many physical games, or like compilation of remasters. As an example, this is the Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 2.5 remix with all the Kingdom Hearts games up to Kingdom Hearts 3. I believe Kingdom Hearts 3 is not in there, and 2.8 not either. But you know, I like to collect these games. I have the collector's edition of the original Witcher 3, and this is with the steelbook as well. And I love this stuff, you know. I love collector's editions with the statues, and not everyone does that. Of course, it's also very expensive. Look at this Persona 5 Royal steelbook. It's beautiful, right? And to have everything digital, you know, I get that it's a convenience, and I also use digital. It's not that I'm only physical whatsoever. If I'm forced to play digitally, that if there is no physical way, I will do it digital, but it's a big part of my gaming hobby to collect video games. And there's a big misconception out there that PlayStation 4 and Xbox One discs are all just activation code, which isn't really the case. There are a lot of PlayStation 4 games that have the whole game on the disc. There is actually a Twitter account. On Twitter you have the account Does It Play, and basically they test games on physical discs for PlayStation 4, Nintendo or Xbox, and they test it if the game is very playable in its very first state that it's going on sale. How playable is it without patches? Is it playable offline? Because that's what was promised with a lot of single player games in the PlayStation 4 era. And they test this stuff, and a lot of games can be played without internet connection and that type of stuff. I really recommend that Twitter page. But if everything gets to be digital, game preservation will be in danger. Especially when it comes to PlayStation exclusives. And to be fair, most modern Xbox exclusives go to PC as well. But not every PlayStation game goes to PC. Luckily, Sony has been doing a very wonderful job the past few years to bring a lot of PlayStation exclusives also to PC. And that's a good thing for preservation, because PlayStation isn't going to preserve any of those games, or they aren't going to do anything towards that, shall I say. And Nintendo, let's not talk about Nintendo, they don't care at all. But at least Nintendo still has physical copies, you know. And we can put ROMs, of course it's kind of illegal, put those ROMs online, that at least those games are preserved for the future, right? This is what makes me afraid. If everything is going to be digital, if PlayStation is going digitally, they have to make their games also for PC, in my opinion. Digitally can also be well preserved, but then it needs to be on PC. So the community, the gamers have access towards games. And I think this is just a very important topic that gets not really talked about whatsoever, which is sad. And I just really want to know your guys' opinion on this stuff, because I feel it's important. We need to keep these companies accountable for not looking at game preservation. And Sony just wants to basically paywall old games. They would rather have you to pay a subscription to play older games through a service model, something like that. Xbox as well, even though luckily Xbox has a very big backwards compatibility library. Nintendo just would want you to sell a remaster for 50-60 bucks instead of just doing backwards compatibility with older consoles, you know. Isn't digital supposed to be cheaper than physical? Because I find that very weird that a lot of digital games on the PlayStation Store are always more expensive than the physical counterparts, which kind of defeats the purpose of the whole digital stuff. I would just rather go to my local store and buy a physical copy of a PlayStation 4 game there, or a PlayStation 5 game, you know. If they aren't going to make digital games cheaper, what's the point of buying digital? I don't get that really. It's convenient, but that's really all of it, you know. Digitally, you don't own anything. And what if you lose your account as well? If you lose your account for some weird reason and Sony doesn't help you out, you lose all your games. I've always found that so scary, to be fair. And also, I can go up to my friends and they ask me, hey, I really would like to play Persona 5 Royal. And I can be like, hey, yeah, sure. Here's my physical copy, go play it. With digitally, you can also, I believe, share games, stuff like that. Don't know if you can on PlayStation, you can do it on Steam. I grew up in this environment when I would buy Pokemon Emerald. I still remember that to this day. Or Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. I'm a big Pokemon player, and you have the booklet and I would read that, and that was also a part of the experience of a video game to me. The stuff that came beforehand, seeing the box art, you know, reading about the characters. I remember, to this day is a core memory of me, buying Kingdom Hearts 2 in Spain when I was on holiday, and I was a very big Kingdom Hearts 1 fan. And I never really knew that there was a Kingdom Hearts 2 when I was, I think, 8 years old or 9 years old. And I saw Kingdom Hearts 2 in like a Spanish store, and I was like, what? There's a second one? I need to play this. And at the time I didn't have my PlayStation 2 with me, and my mom bought it on holiday for me. But I had to wait a whole week before we would get home when my PlayStation 2 was, and that was the worst holiday I had in my life. That week took forever, and finally when I reached my home, I put it in Kingdom Hearts 2. I didn't care that it was in Spanish language. I just played it in Spanish, and I had the time of my life, you know. And I could look at that Kingdom Hearts 2 legendary cover art, by the way, for that game. And every day I looked at it, and I looked at the booklet inside, and it was an experience on its own, in my opinion, when I was a child. And children these days don't get that experience anymore, which is very sad. Everything is immediately gratification. They can download everything from the store, play it, and they might even not like the game because of that. Which is a whole other discussion on itself, of course, to be fair. Let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think of this topic? I think it's important to preserve video games, and I find it weird that we can just close digital stores when a console is not relative anymore, and lots of games just get Thanos snapped out of existence. Let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think of this stuff. I quickly wanted to do a comment of the day for my last video, which was the Like a Dragon rumor. Oricado2842 made actually a pretty interesting comment on my last video. I am actually Brazilian, and I have been at BGS, and I can confirm that the debug mode has been revealed by some people. Anyway, the demo was super fun. I can't wait for Infinite Wealth to launch. Great to hear that we have someone actually in the comments that can talk about what I talked about in the video. You're lucky, man, that you've played the game already. I would really want to play Infinite Wealth. If you have a comment of your own, let me know in the comment section down below, and I might feature it in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. As always, like this video if you like it, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more gaming news and leaks. This was more of a discussion video today, but I usually make gaming leaks and rumors videos on the biggest single player games from Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox. Thank you guys for watching. As always, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and visit my social media in the description down below. I will see you guys in the next Get Rekt gaming news video. Bye bye.